Hello students, we are going to understand today torque on a current carrying coil when it is placed in the uniform magnetic field B. Okay, what we have to take the inputs that are, first of all we have to take a coil in which a current should flow. Okay, so you can see that one current is flowing from A, B, C, D, A back. Here we have taken initially the rectangular coil. After that we have to take uniform magnetic field B also. So for the uniform magnetic field B, here these parallel set of lines are shown which are showing the magnetic field B. Now you see that I am saying that the coil is rectangular but it is looking like a parallelogram. So that is because of its orientation, which we need to understand before starting the derivation. So it's like this. If we take this coil and we keep it parallel to the plane of the board, okay, so it will look rectangle only, parallel to the plane of the board. But this coil is little tilted. It is coming out of the plane of the board from one side. This end is outside. Okay, so this way the coil is kept. Now what is the magnetic field direction? So magnetic field direction is parallel. Magnetic field direction is parallel to the plane of the board. So these are the magnetic field lines. I am showing it with the blue pen only. So you see the coil is tilted and magnetic field is this way shown. Okay, now how to show the angle? Some orientation angle we need to show in the diagram. So you can see I have drawn a normal to the coil, and with the normal magnetic field B is making angle theta. Okay, with the normal magnetic field B is making angle theta. I will show you with the help of these pens. So just understand. So students, just see this coil, this coil, this pencil is showing the normal to the coil and this pen, blue pen, is showing the magnetic field direction. So this way the orientation is, and the angle between normal and magnetic field is theta. That means this pencil and the pen, the angle is theta. Okay, now how to proceed further? Okay, we are seeing here that in a rectangular coil there are 4 sides, and in each of the side the current I is present. Okay, current I is present, and each current carrying part is present in the magnetic field B. Correct? So whenever I plus B combination is present, that means that current carrying conductor, when it is placed in magnetic field B, then it experiences a force. Okay, this we have discussed already. The formula of the force is I L cross B, and direction of the force can be calculated by Fleming's left hand rule. So these informations we are going to use. What is happening here? Because in the coil there are 4 sides, so each of the side will experience a force due to this combination. I is also there, B is also there. Here also I is also there, B is also there. I, B, I, B. So because everywhere I plus B combination is there, so each of the 4 side is going to experience force. Now we are going to calculate all the 4 forces, and we are going to find out the directions of the forces using Fleming's left hand rule. So because we will be needing the length of the conductor, so let us take the dimensions of the rectangular coil. So let's take A is the length and B is the breadth of that rectangle which we have taken. Now let us start one by one. calculating these forces. Okay, firstly, force F1, that is on the side AB. Okay, the side name is AB. We should write the formula I L cross B. Okay, so I is the current, L is the length of conductor, that is A, B is the magnetic field, and now we want the angle. So as you know that in the cross product, the angle between length and magnetic field we have to take, and the length vector direction is same as the current. So actually the angle is to be taken between current and magnetic field B. So you just notice the angle between what I said, current and magnetic field B. Current is flowing here and magnetic field is this blue line. Now you see this is normal of the coil. With normal, the angle of B is theta, and here the angle is 90 because it is normal. So the total angle between I and B, it will become, you see, 90 plus theta. So we will put sine 90 plus theta. Did you get it? Okay, so just carefully see. B is that direction, I is this direction. We have to find the angle between I and B. So you see from here if we go, I to N is 90, N to B is theta. यहाँ से यहाँ तक 90 एंगल और यहाँ से यहाँ तक थीटा एंगल. टोटल एंगल कितना हुआ? 90 plus theta. So I have substituted here 90 plus theta. Further if I solve it, IAB sin 90 plus theta is cos theta. Okay, so my first force is solved. That means the force on first side AB is solved. Now we will be solving the force on this side. Okay, again we will put the formula IL cross B. So I, length of the conductor is now B, magnetic field is capital B, sin theta we want. Now what is that angle which we have to solve here? So now for solving the angle, again you need to see the orientation. See, the current is flowing straight downward and magnetic field is horizontal. Okay, magnetic field is like this. Magnetic field is parallel to the plane of the board and current is flowing downward. So that way the angle between current and magnetic field is here 90. You can see in this, even if the coil is tilted. Okay, then also here the current will flow downward. So current is downward and magnetic field is horizontal. So current and magnetic field angle is 90 degree. So in this second side, the angle theta is 90 degree directly. Sin 90 becomes 1. So the final answer of F2 will become IBB. Let us solve now the force on this third side CD. Okay, force on this third side CD. Now by the formula IL cross B. Now the length of the conductor is same as A. They are parallel sides. So IAB sine angle. Now what is the angle here between the current? So the change is that when we were seeing the upper side, the current direction was this, magnetic field was that. But if we just move to this side, current direction is there, magnetic field is this. So we need this angle. Okay, we need this angle. This is our B and this is our current. Okay, we need this angle. Now how to get this angle? So you see, again I will draw here normal so that you get the idea. This is normal. So between normal and B the angle is given theta here. Okay, between normal and B angle is given theta. Now this total angle is 90. So how much is this angle left? That is 90 minus theta. That's why here we will put angle 90 minus theta. So just remember, for the upper side the angle was 90 plus theta, and at the lower side the angle is 90 minus theta. Just because of the change of the direction of the current. Current earlier is this way and current in this side is this way. All other things are same, coil is the same, normal is the same, magnetic field is the same. Okay. So 90 minus theta is also cos theta. So this way we will get F3 as IAB cos theta. Now let us solve F4. F4 means force here. You see current is upward, magnetic field is horizontal, angle is 90. So I and the side is of length B. So IBB sine 90. Its answer is also the same. So IBB is the value of the F4 force. You can notice one thing, that F2 and F4 magnitudes are same. So we can write here that F4 is actually equal to F2 only. Okay, and in the same manner F1 and F3 are also same. This is also IAB cos theta, this is also IAB cos theta. So magnitudes are same, that I am telling you. Now direction part, because you see now what, on this coil there are actually 4 forces working. These are these forces. Now should we add them or should we subtract them to get the net force? Because you see on this coil number of forces are working. We are interested in getting that only, that what is the effect of this magnetic field B on this coil. So what to do with these 4 forces? First of all we need to find the directions. Directions will be calculated by Fleming's left hand rule. So let us try. See, I am starting with the second side. It will be easy to solve. Our left hand rule we have to use. So always try to stretch the central finger first in the current direction. So current is moving downward. Okay. So central finger, this central finger, it is downward, downward. And magnetic field direction is horizontal. So you see this first finger, this finger, it should be stretched in the direction of magnetic field. So if I apply the right hand thumb rule, central finger down, this first finger in the field, and this thumb is pointing out of the board. Okay, this thumb is pointing out of the board. So here if I show the force direction, so I have solved the force on this, that is normally outwards. Normally outwards means I can show it by dot. So F2 direction is normally outwards. We can show it by an arrow also. Okay, dot or normally outwards arrow. In the same manner, if you see this AD side, okay, for this AD side, turn your left hand, central finger upward, you can see current is upward. Magnetic field is that side, you can see magnetic field direction. Okay, so where the thumb is pointing inward. You can see thumb is pointing inward. So inward direction of the force we can show by cross. So that is F1, F2, F3, F4. Okay, now let us solve for this upper side and lower side. Here the current is coming here. Okay, so if we take the help of this resistor again, this is the direction of current. Then this is magnetic field B, which is parallel to the plane of the board. So if we use our left hand, then central finger should be in the direction of the current. Now this first finger, the angle we cannot show 90 because angle is more. Current and magnetic field angle is more, greater than 90. We have to stretch it more. Okay, so you see it should not be 90, it should be stretched further more. So current, magnetic field, where is the thumb pointing? thumb is pointing upward. Okay, in the same manner for this lower edge, current will go that side. Magnetic field is, so here the current is this side, here the current is this side. So here the force came upward, here the force will come downward. So that we are showing in the diagram now. Now as you can see that we have shown all the direction of the forces in the diagram. F1 is upward, F3 is downward, F2 is normally outward, F4 is normally inwards. So normally outwards and normally inwards. Now there are four forces. Now whenever two forces are equal and opposite, okay, equal and opposite, and along the same line, okay, along the same line, they cancel each other. So you can see if two forces are equal and opposite, so you see F1 and F3, they are equal also and opposite also, and they are along the same line. You see this is only the line where they are applicable, so they will be cancelling each other. So F1 F3 are cancelled. Now what about these F2 and F4 forces? So students, here the little concept is there. When we are talking about this coil, then at this edge, one force is outward here, and at this edge one force is inward. So there, in between their line of action, there is this gap. Okay, one force is here normally outward and one force is here normally inward. So in between them this gap is there. So that means their line of action is not same. So when the two forces equal opposite, act at different line of action, then they make a torque. Okay, they make a couple of force. We can call it couple of force, or we can call it torque. So actually the torque will be formed. Clear? Okay, this we have discussed before also. Suppose here, if one person is pulling from here, one person is pulling from here. Now if they are along the same line, the direction of the force is here and here along the same line, then the force will be cancelled. But if one force is applied here and one force is applied here in the opposite direction, then they will not cancel. Finally, if we try to apply the force from both the sides of the pen, this pen is finally going to rotate. So this rotation effect is achieved because of this torque. Now our target is that how to calculate this torque. So for that, the torque formula is force into perpendicular distance between them. Okay, so we need to understand what is the perpendicular distance between both these forces. F2 and F4 are making the torque. So what you need to do, you have to see the coil from the top. So I am drawing here the diagram. This is our AB. Okay, this is the top view. If we see from the top, only the edge AB will be seen. At A side one force is normally outwards. Okay, so which force it is? It is F2 force. And at B side one force is normally inwards. What is that force? F4. So F2 and F4 are working like this. So it's just that when you have the coil like this is the front view. If you see it from the top, you see here what was happening. One force was normally outward acting. So if you see the top view of the coil, okay, if you see the top view of the coil, This way one force will be here acting and one force will be here acting. Okay, so that we have shown in form of the top view of the coil. Now we want the perpendicular distance between both these forces. So we have to connect it with the help of the triangle. So let us complete the triangle like this, a right triangle. So this edge is A, this is B, and suppose I call it K. So AK is that the perpendicular distance, AK, okay, AK distance. Now do we know this AB side? It is A distance, okay, AB side is A distance. Now we have to find this perpendicular distance AK. I have drawn the diagram little bigger so that some more terms can be seen. See, AK distance we have to find. This hypotenuse value, that means A, we already know. Okay, now AK distance is the perpendicular distance. So we need somewhere angle theta. How it will happen? We will take the help of this normal. If I draw a normal, okay, normal, then magnetic field is straight. So I am showing the magnetic field straight. This is my magnetic field V. This angle is given theta. So how much will be this angle? 90 minus theta. Okay. So because here also one right triangle is prepared, so this angle will come finally theta. Okay. Again I am repeating. Between normal and magnetic field B, angle is given theta. So this remaining angle will become 90 minus theta. And because in this right triangle, if one angle is 90 minus theta, the other angle will become theta. So we want this theta angle. That means in this right triangle, now focus on this angle only. Here the angle is formed, so this is base, and here the another side is perpendicular, and perpendicular's formula is obtained by sine theta. So sine theta equal to perpendicular, that means AK, upon hypotenuse, that means A. So AK value will be obtained as A sine theta. Okay, this I need to put in that torque formula. So I think you have understood. थीटा के सामने वाला होता है परपेंडिकुलर, जिसे हमें सॉल्व करना है. तो हमने साइन थीटा का फॉर्मूला लगाया, परपेंडिकुलर अपॉन हाइपोटेनियस. हाइपोटेनियस वो होता है जो 90 के सामने होता है इस बड़े ट्राइंगल में. ठीक है. So AK value will be obtained as A sin theta. This I am going to put now in the torque formula. Okay, torque is formed by two forces. Two forces means F2 and F4. What was the value of F2 and F4? It was IAB. So I am putting here IBB. IBB value, and perpendicular distance means A sin theta is obtained. Now the derivation is almost ending here. What? A into B I can take together. A into B is the area, capital A, area of the coil. In case if n turns coil is given, we have to put n extra. And students, you must have noticed here NIA term. NIA. This NIA term is actually what? It is the magnetic moment. Okay, it is the magnetic moment formula of any coil. So we can write it MB sin theta. MB sin theta. It is the last answer. Or we can make it in form of cross product M cross B, because it is sin theta appearing at last, and that means M cross B is equal to torque. So torque is also a vector quantity. So this is the formula which we have obtained for the torque experienced by a current carrying coil which is placed in magnetic field B. One more thing, you can see that only area is appearing. in the torque formula area is appearing. It has nothing to do with the shape of the coil. So any shape, it can be circular coil or it can be rectangular coil or any other shape. For that the torque formula is the same. So torque formula is in detail NIAB sin theta or MB sin theta, or in cross product M cross B we can write, because sin theta is appearing, so M cross B will come. And because torque is a vector quantity, so its direction is obtained by M and B's perpendicular. As I have told you that in the resultant, in the cross product, the resultant is always normal to both of them. So one point we can remember here, torque is perpendicular to M also, torque is perpendicular to B also. Okay, so these are the points which we can remember, important points. So whenever we have cross product, we can find the value, and we can find the value by this formula, and direction of the torque is obtained by right hand thumb rule. Okay.